All right, everyone, I don't know about you, but I'm excited to start running and training again. Hi, everyone, my name is Steve Gonzo, physical therapist with RunSmart, and I want to talk today about what you need to do to make sure that when you start training for a race that you don't end up in my office as in the physical therapy office a few months later, injured, sore, frustrated. If you're interested in learning more, be sure to check out the link in this post. We have actually pretty much our spring sale where we're going to be discounting the RunSmart app for the next week or so, depending on when you watch this. So if you want training plans, strength workouts, the fix and balances, you want injury prevention techniques, be sure to check out the RunSmart app in the link below and get the discount before it expires. All right, so this is what I see most of the time with runners is the fact that they, so let's say this is the start of a run plan right here. Let's make sure I'm at end frame here. All right, so this is the start of the run plan. Here's the finish of it. This is race day down here. And what they end up doing, so start to finish, is they pick this date and they say, okay, I'm going to get serious. I'm going to start training again, especially after the year we just had. And people are ready to start getting serious again. But on this back end, before they start, there's so much importance in here. It's almost like your pre-training is here. And a lot of times people are really missing out on this phase, because what happens when you don't run a lot, when you're not active, when you're limping along a little bit, and you're not really serious and consistent with your running, is your lungs decondition, your heart deconditions, but more importantly, your body does. And I'm talking about like tendon stiffness, joint, the ability of the joints to avoid or absorb compression and shock. That goes away, your muscle strength goes away, and you really lose your running legs. So what do I see most of the time? Is that the pre-training is really not there. And I want to talk to you about exactly what you need to do in pre-training to make sure that you're set up for success in your training. But what I see most of the time is very low mileage, and then like if we were to look at the mileage, let's say it's kind of steady, inconsistent here, and then they hit the start of their training plan, and then it starts going really crazy towards the finish, and they don't have enough mileage here to sustain. And in fact, what I see a lot of times is people carry a lot of good, like, you ever go for a run in a long time, after a long time off, and you're like, oh, my lungs feel pretty good, it's not too bad. I'll often see a lot of runners, their lungs and their heart will outperform their body's ability to train and run successfully. Their joints fail first, their tendons and muscles fail first. They end up things with like plantar fasciitis, tendinitis, sore joints, sore knees, things like that. So what I want to do is I want to show you what we do a lot of. And if you're interested in learning more, be sure to check out the RunSmart app. I have a whole plan in there. And until I think next Friday, depending on when you watch this, it's going away soon. We're actually discounting the app for an entire year for only $99 a year. So if you want the whole kit and caboodle, make sure you check it out, and we can help you out there. So let's take this away, and I want to just talk you through like this pre-training. I'm just going to put PT up here, physical therapy, pre-training, whatever you want it to be. What do you do before you start your training plan? Now there's a couple things. The 60% rule, I want to talk to you about that. That is so important. This is all anecdotal, but I can tell you after years and years of working with runners, when you enter your training plan, you should be relatively running 60% of your max mileage fairly consistently. So I like to use really easy math because I'm not super smart. If your plan peaks at 100 miles a week, 100 kilometers a week, doesn't matter if it's miles or kilometers, you should be averaging 60 miles or kilometers a week roughly to be able to build successfully in that. Now, if it's 50 miles or kilometers, you're just going to do the easy math on that. You should be relatively running somewhere around 30 miles or 30 kilometers a week, week over week, so that when you start to build, you have a base. And I'm not talking about, everyone thinks of their base as being their heart and their lungs. A base a lot of times is your joints, your tendons, and your muscles' ability to not get hurt when you start running again. So if we do 25 miles a week, you should be running, or kilometers a week, you should be running 15 miles or kilometers consistently throughout the week. Now, what does this mean? If you have a training plan coming up and you're like, well, I'm not running that much yet, what I would tell you to do is stretch that front of the training plan out, bring your mileage down, and just do a gradual build to bring yourself up. One of the biggest errors runners make is a shift in mileage too quickly. Especially the runners I work with, 40-plus group, more apt to get injured, have other things going on in their life, so they're not as in tune to recovery. They make this mistake all the time. So the 60% rule, please follow this. I want to talk to you about another thing you can be doing right now to set yourself up for success throughout the next couple months into the fall, where you can have a really great running season, especially if you've taken off over time. Now remember, if you want help with this, we actually have maintenance plans, training plans, and pre-build plans inside the RunSmart app that you can actually build your mileage up safely. You're looking for a training plan guide. It walks you through from getting back in shape all the way to training and what you do after your race. So be sure to check out the link in the post if you're interested in that. Now, pre-training, we have the 60% rule. I'll just bring that up here. That's important. But also, building strength reserves is really important. And I'll talk about who this makes the most sense for, strength reserves. So, in this instance, if you are a runner who's like, I haven't been running consistently for years, I usually end up getting hurt at some point, and I never really feel great. You go out, your hips ache, your knees ache, your ankles ache, whatever it might be, I would really emphasize building your strength reserves right now. This is the bread and butter of the RunSmart app. Strength workouts. We're actually launching another 6 videos, another 6 sessions of our RunSmart yoga program soon in the next week. And building your strength reserves has to focus on your core, your glutes, and your balance. We have a RunSmart 10 program I really recommend if you're just new to this. If you feel like you're pretty good on your strength side, then drift into Base 3, Base 6 boot camp. But when you build your strength reserves, it allows your muscles and tendon stiffness to get stronger, and so that it can tolerate the running without having to go in and just smash on it while you're running and risk injury. So the strength reserves, this takes about 4 to 6 weeks to build up, so I highly recommend you guys start doing that now before your training plan. If your training plan's starting in less than that, take the front of it, slow it down, and just work this into the mix. Now, another reason why the strength reserves are so important is because it allows you to carry more into your plan. I would say I'm pretty slow, but I'm not that slow to realize that most runners, when their training plan builds up in mileage and time requirement, the first thing to get chopped is strength. And while I don't agree with it, what I can tell you is if you can build up your strength reserves higher, when time is pressed and you miss strength workouts, you're going to be coming down from a higher spot compared to someone who's been sitting on the couch or just running who doesn't really have anything in their strength reserves. So the 60% rule, the strength reserves, that is one of the best things you can do to have a successful fall, summer racing. And if you just don't feel good, if you feel like you're always hurt, this is where you need to start. If you want some help with it, check out the link in this post. The RunSmart app is now discounted until for a week or so. It doesn't matter. It depends on when you're watching this. But check out the link in the post and do this, guys. I promise you it makes such a difference. We have so many runners, thousands of runners who are following this and seeing great results. And I know it can work for you too. All right, everyone. Have a great night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.